Hello again, chess devotees. I have previously to this uploaded a mate in 12. Try this one, a mate in 26. It goes back to 1977, a year which you'd think would well and truly predate by a good many years artificial intelligence. Not a bit of it. It was work pioneered by the, at the time, young Soviet mathematician Vladimir Butenko. He devised an algorithm to solve mathematical problems, including chess. However, scientifically, as pointed out in the article at the time, the creation of a determinative algorithm is very interesting, but far from straightforward. What Butenko devised and learnt is that he could utilize a chess robot to work out these puzzles. So take a theoretical position, here the one in front of us, where the black king is mated after it is driven into one of the two corners of the white bishop's colour, in other words, A8 or H1. Not simple by any means. However, whatever the position, in this material constituting a Rex Solus study, the robot was able to solve it in a matter of seconds and in less than 35 moves. Now this one, like I say, is in 26, so let's have a look at the solution to this. How would you say we begin with this one? Well, the robot played to here, knight e5. And so the black king, of course, is going to try and get to one of these squares. It's easier to try and get to this one, so he aims for h8. So let's just follow the process here. It's two moves. And two moves by black. So white makes progress and black thinks he's escaping. Now you see the problem here is that although it looks as though black is escaping, let us not forget that he's never really going to be able to maintain sanctuary here because the square's the wrong colour. Although it's the wrong colour for white mating, it's the wrong colour for him avoiding checkmate, as we will see. So, king e6. So he carries on, desperate to get into the corner, and white lets him. King h8. Now here's where we employ the knight again. Can you see what he's trying to do here after knight f7 check? That's it. He's wanting to stop the king going back into h8. That's why it's not a sanctuary. So he withdraws the bishop to e4. And now, of course, the black king has no choice but to move to f8, which of course he does. So now white makes absolutely sure that he can't go back. He's forcing him further along that back rank. So he has to play here. That's after 8 moves. So we're nearly a third of the way through this. So how does white proceed here? Well, he goes back to what turned out to be the second square for his sequence in this problem solving, e5. Now then, what does black do? Well, he realizes that if he plays to f8, knight g6, and he'd be forced anyway, so he's going to go to d8. So now what? The king, of course, follows him. King to e6. So black of course, doesn't want to hang around here. He's now going to try and make for a1, but he's not going to make it. Can you see what's coming? Right, well, the knight goes to d7. Let's take a look at that. And now the king is on his way, or at least he thinks he is. But this move, a gem of a move, ruins everything for black, because what he now realizes is he can't go to these light squares and he can't go to the dark squares, so he is stopped. So the only way really is to try and get around like this, but he's not going to be able to. Watch what happens. Bishop d3. So he goes back to king c7. So white plays another good move here, bishop to e4. And he's stopping him on these white squares. He cannot get around. So what does he do? That is the position after 13, bishop e4. So he's trying his hand at going back this way. King d8. White lets black think that he's going to succeed. King d6. He's having a stab at it. There he goes. King e8. But white is on the qui-vive, and he plays bishop g6 check. So he's forcing black back to d8. Now knight c5. We're going in for the kill at this stage. Where does he go? Right, well, he has to go to c8. So we play a waiting move here, bishop f7. Now, of course, like earlier on, he realizes that should he come this way, we can always go knight b7 and trap him. And that is, in the end, what happens anyhow. So what does he do? He plays exactly that. King d8. And white plays exactly that. Can you see any of these moves? I saw quite a few of them. A few were a bit of a surprise, but a lot I managed to see, thank goodness. This robot was quite incredible. So he's forced back to c8. So what does white do now? That's right, he covers the knight. You notice how black's days of getting down towards h8 are well and truly over. What does he do now? Well, he has to go to b8, doesn't he? It's a forced move. King comes here. So what does he do? Again, if he comes here, you can always get him. So he's reluctantly forced onto the A line. King a7. Yep, okay. So now white goes back to c5. Just take a look at that position. Where is black going to go? That is the question. Where is he going to go after 21 knight c5? Well, he goes to b8. Bishop e6, stopping him again. He's being forced into there, right there. Bishop e6, 22 bishop e6. So king a7. Now king c7. Just look at that. White takes the opposition. That's a little tutorial in how to handle the opposition there. What can black do? He has to go to a8. That is after black's 23rd move. We have three more. It's a mate in 3 at this point. Can you see how we do it? White to checkmate in 3 moves. Well, what he does is he now moves to here, king b6. He's forcing black to go to b8. That's it. And it's now mate in 2 moves. See it? That's right. knight a6. He's shut off from c8 with the bishop and c7 with the king. The knight checks him. So he's now forced to play king a8. And now the killer punch. Bishop to d5 is checkmate. A wonderful tour de force. Now, at about this stage, the mid-1970s, the Scottish international master David Levy put forward that one day chess computers would be able to beat the strongest human beings. And he was proven quite right initially with Deep Blue and then with such as Stockfish and AlphaZero. So congratulations to Mr. Levy on that pronouncement. It would be contrary to my nature to approach Stockfish. However, please do put this problem and any permutation based on the pieces involved to such a search engine and see what it comes back with. If it can't do better, then 1977 is 2024. No doubt about that. I trust you enjoyed this one, and goodbye to you.